You know that guy you filled out the survey about? Well, I've got to break it to you. He scored an F. Just run away. And I mean run, not walk. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's unlikely to go far in his career. Even if he talks big, action is missing. He struggles to stay focused or committed, and when problems come up, he tends to back off instead of facing them head on. Even if he has talent, it's wasted without effort and grit.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he is more likely to break down than bounce back. Stress overwhelms him easily and he might become angry or upset instead of looking for solutions. If you're looking for someone emotionally strong in tough times, you should be aware that he often struggles to cope.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work often find him difficult to get along with and may not hold much respect for him. He can come across as unfriendly or cold and doesn't go out of his way to be polite or caring. Most people keep their distance, which means he rarely has strong work friendships or a good reputation.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your career, he may not openly celebrate your achievements and could even feel left behind or insecure. He might struggle with his own feelings, becoming quiet or distant rather than cheering you on. Instead of sharing your joy, he may retreat, making you feel like your success creates a wall between you.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he may feel hurt inside and could start resenting the situation, even if he doesn't say it out loud. He tends to struggle with his own confidence and might see your success as a reminder of what he thinks he's missing. You might notice him pulling away, acting cold, or being less supportive than before.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He doesn't really handle money with much care, and he also isn't the type to spend wildly for fun. Instead, he might ignore money problems or leave things unfinished, like forgetting to pay bills or not planning ahead. This means you might end up carrying most of the responsibility for managing money.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He usually doesn't pretend to be richer than he is, but he also doesn't manage his life with much planning or care. Instead of showing off, he's more likely to drift along without thinking about what he can actually afford. This can lead to small troubles turning into bigger issues later.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's not very open handed or kind, and you might find him emotionally distant and reserved with both money and feelings. Instead of showing generosity or warmth, he often keeps to himself and doesn't reach out to help, share, or comfort others. He's unlikely to support you during tough times, and simple acts of kindness may be rare.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't openly honest about money, but he's not controlling either. Instead, he tends to avoid talking about finances, sometimes leaving you in the dark just because he doesn't pay enough attention or find it important to share. You may feel like you're managing things alone as he quietly steps back instead of taking charge or being transparent.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to avoid housework altogether and won't step up to share the load with you. Most of the time, he'll leave things for you to handle, not because he believes it's only your job, but simply because he doesn't want to get involved. You may have to ask repeatedly, but he'll often pull back or stay quiet, leaving you with the chores and the responsibility.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's not the type to jump in and help with chores or diapers, and even supervising might be asking too much. Most likely, he will keep his distance and leave the bulk of the work to you. You might find yourself wishing for real support, but end up doing most things on your own.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He rarely tries to understand your side. Instead, when there's a disagreement, he's more likely to get upset or pull away than to listen or talk things through. Often, he might argue just to defend himself, not to find a solution.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he might struggle to stay respectful. He can say hurtful things or act out, sometimes raising his voice or losing his temper quickly. This kind of reaction can make home feel tense or unpredictable.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he is the kind of man who gets angry quickly. Small things can set him off, and his reactions may feel bigger than the situation deserves. This is a real red flag, not something to brush aside. Over time, this can wear you down and harm your self confidence.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry or take responsibility for his mistakes. When things go wrong, he's more likely to blame you or someone else instead of owning up to what he did. You might hear excuses, sharp words, or see him avoid the topic altogether.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may not always respect your boundaries and might not fully understand that no means no. Sometimes, if he wants something or feels frustrated, he could ignore your feelings or push you to change your mind. This lack of respect can lead to uncomfortable or even unsafe situations.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he's likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding your feelings, he may act hurt or even become distant, thinking it's a rejection of him as a person. Over time, this behavior makes it hard to relax and feel safe in the relationship.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you may need to be careful because he might not always handle private moments with care and respect. If he gets upset or angry, there's a risk he could bring up private things to hurt your feelings or embarrass you instead of keeping them safe between you. Trust is built when your secrets and soft spots are protected, not used as weapons in fights.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not very dependable when it comes to faithfulness. Because he is detached and not deeply emotionally connected, he might easily get distracted by other women, especially when things aren't going well between you. This can leave you feeling insecure or unsure about where you stand.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't usually over possessive or very controlling. Instead of acting jealous or watching your every move, he tends to pull away and be more distant. While you may not have to deal with possessiveness or suspicion, the bigger issue is that you might feel uncared for or unsupported, as he often keeps to himself.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, you won't see a strong protective side that turns into controlling behavior. He doesn't step in to manage your choices or shield you in the name of love. In fact, he's more likely to be passive and hands off, often avoiding responsibility altogether.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He's unlikely to step up or share responsibilities without being told, and even then, his involvement will be limited or half hearted. Instead of feeling like you're both in it together, it will feel more like a one woman show.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper rather than stay calm. Small problems may set him off easily, and he might raise his voice, get frustrated quickly, or even storm off instead of helping them feel better. If you want a calm and steady presence for your kids, he won't be able to offer that support.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He probably won't give you the support you need, either as a mother or as your own person. He tends to stay distant and won't cheer you on or help you balance your responsibilities. When you need comfort, praise, or a helping hand, he's unlikely to notice or step in.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not likely to make promises about supporting your career now and then ask you to quit after you have a child. In fact, he usually stays disengaged from both your work and home life. You'll have to make most choices alone, without strong support from him.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's unlikely to treat your parents with real warmth. If anything, he might be distant or just barely polite, doing the minimum required when they visit or when you talk about them. If having your husband bond warmly with your family matters to you, this will likely be a disappointment. He won't really try to adjust to your family, nor will he expect them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's more likely to withdraw or become frustrated rather than handle things calmly. His quick temper and low patience mean he might react sharply or simply shut down, leaving you alone to sort out the trouble. This can add more stress to your life, and you may wish for a calmer, more steady partner in difficult family situations.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He isn't the kind of man who will expect you to act like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives, nor will he put on a very modern or supportive face with you. He mostly stays detached and doesn't pay much attention to these roles, either at home or with his family. You'll have freedom to be yourself, but you might feel left alone to manage all family matters without his active help or support.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it instead of supporting you or siding with his family. He tends to avoid getting involved in conflicts or taking a stand. So you may feel alone in handling difficult situations, whether it's with his side or yours. This can feel isolating, especially when you need backup the most.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He isn't really a mummy's boy, but not because he chooses you over his mother. Instead, he tends to avoid getting deeply attached or involved with either side. This can leave you feeling unsupported and alone during tough times with his family.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He's not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. His natural tendency is to keep things to himself and avoid deep conversations, even with his own family. This can leave your relationship feeling isolated without the support or healthy involvement of extended family.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, overall, there you have it. This guy is an F. Again, this is not going to end well. Just run away. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out can feel lonely and draining. He'll often keep to himself, missing small moments and not stepping up when you need help or care.